Hey everyone, thanks again for checking out The Smartest Mover. My name is Justin Tejeda, and in this quick video, I'm just going to show you how to wrap and move an upright piano. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and comment below if there's any videos or anything else you need help with on your future moves. But thanks again for watching. So the first thing we're going to want to do is remove this music stand. Now this one in particular has 3 screws underneath. See, we got one right there, and then one right there. This one just takes a Phillips head screwdriver and you can remove all 3 of those. Sometimes they're on the side. In this case, I had never seen one before, but it was on the bottom. And just put all your stuff to the side. Okay, so for our next step, we're going to go ahead and cover up the piano. We're going to want to make sure that we cover all the sides and the front of the piano. So we're going to use 2 pads on this one, and we're going to wrap it with some stretch wrap. Now that we have the piano covered, I'm going to go ahead and ball up some of the stretch wrap, and I'm just going to tie it around the handles that are on the back. Sorry, I didn't get a good video of it, but there's these 2 handles on the back. We're just going to wrap the stretch wrap around that. Remember to make sure your pad looks good whenever you do your first pass. After that, you can start putting a little bit more tension on it, making sure that the stretch wrap is tight and secured. Make your way all the way up. And don't be afraid to use more stretch wrap on pieces like this or heavy couches. It just makes it a lot easier when you have to pick it up or grip the piece. So you'll see me going quite a few times around this just to make sure that everything is nice and tight for when we have to pick it up. Okay, so here's our piano bench. I took those screws from earlier, I put them in a Ziploc bag and I taped them to the inside of the bench just so we don't lose it. And as you can see right there, there's a little chip on the bench. I did notify the customer just so we don't get trouble for any of the damages. Now this is the handle that I tied my stretch wrap to initially. This is what we're going to use to lift up the piano. Alright, now let's go ahead and wrap up this music stand. I'm going to use the light side out on this, and if you know from any of my other videos, that just means there's something fragile underneath the blanket. So just go ahead and wrap it up, and you can either put it in a large box with other fragile items or just put it somewhere safe. Okay, now here comes the moment of truth. This is where we move the piano. We get it set up on our 4-wheelers. As you can see, we're using 2 4-wheelers here. Typically we only use 1, but you'll see why in a second. We have to get this down a really big ramp, so we're just going to go ahead and situate it onto both of these 4-wheelers. Again, I usually only use 1 with some straps around it, but again, you'll see here in a second why we did 2. Now if you have these little straps, you can go ahead and pull them together now, and this just ties it down to the 4-wheeler so nothing moves and you have a smooth ride. Okay, now one other thing you want to be cautious about whenever you're putting these straps is where the metal hooks align and where any of the metal aligns on your piece. You don't want it to dig into the piano and leave dents or scratches or anything like that, so just be mindful of that. Okay, so this is the reason why I decided to put it on 2 4-wheelers. We have a really steep ramp that we're going to take it down, and we just didn't want to take any chances whenever it comes down, tipping over or anything like that, so it's better to be safe than sorry. You can also tell that we have 4 guys on this move, and we just went ahead and put all 4 guys on there, take our time, go down slowly, make sure that nothing happens to it. But in reality, you can do this with 2 people and 1 4-wheeler if you had to. Like I said, we just like to make sure that everything stays safe and we get it from point A to point B in one piece. So I know from this angle the ramp doesn't look that steep. However, this is a big ramp. This is the one we use for our trucks. So it is a very steep angle. We just want to make sure we go down slow and not let this thing run away on us. But everything held up well. We strapped it in tight. The four-wheelers didn't move. So at the end of the day, it worked out smoothly. Here's what the piano looks like on our truck. We did leave it on the four-wheelers. However, we put a strap across it and a strap underneath it, so it won't move at all.